Recently, Amazon KDP updated their categories selection on the KDP platform. You went from only being able to select categories from that old traditional, what they called BISAC list, to now being able to choose those categories that you could see on Amazon, but that you could only get your book listed in if you contacted KDP support. They also now allowed you to choose up to 3 categories as opposed to the previous 2 categories. However, you could no longer contact KDP support to request being put into additional categories. However, these changes have come with some consequences, and I only found out about these after a long chat with the creator of the popular KDP keyword research tool publisher, Rocket. And he told me about 3 issues, and these were around ghost categories, duplicate categories, and certain keywords that would allow your books to be put in additional categories by Amazon, or, and this is probably more important, it may result in you being removed from categories that you'd requested in the first place. So we're going to look at these 3 issues in more detail. Now, first of all, just to recap on categories. What are they? Well, if we go to a book listing on Amazon and scroll down, you'll see that this book here is listed in these 3 categories here. And if we click on one of these, it takes us to a category page. And you'll see we've got a list of these other categories on the left, and we've got the bestsellers title here. Now, being on this first page and high up on this first page of the category listing is important for 3 main reasons. 1, if you rank on this page or high up on this page, it gives your book a boost in the overall ranking on Amazon for your keywords or search terms that you optimize your book for. So will help your book get found for more general search terms or keywords. Secondly, appearing on this category page will help if customers are searching for books in particular categories. So if you're on that first page and they're scrolling down looking for a particular type of book, again, it gives your book more chance of getting found. Now, the last thing, the third factor, is that if you rank number 1, like this book here, you get this orange bestsellers badge, which if we scroll down on this general page on Amazon, you can see here, these books are number 1 in a particular category. You only need to be listed number 1 in any one of those 3 categories. And you get this orange badge, and this helps your book in 2 ways. First of all, it can attract customers' attention when they're scrolling down. If they see that orange badge, it attracts their attention. And 2, it gives your book an element of social proof. Again, these factors can help you get more book sales. So category selection is important. So now we're going to look at these 3 issues. And the first is around ghost categories. And for this, we're going to need to go to Publisher Rocket. And here we are on the home page, and we've got the option here to select a number of these functions. And we're going to go to category search. And we're just going to do a general search for colouring book. And here we have our list and all the different colouring book categories that are available. And if you go to KDP to the category selection, you can see here that you can select these different categories yourself, and we can choose up to 3. If we take a look at these categories, we can see that some of these are labelled as ghost categories. And if we hover over that, it gives us a brief description of what this means. But basically, it means this category doesn't actually exist. So if you choose this in the KDP platform, as you're choosing your selections here, and you happen to choose one of these ghost categories, your book will not actually appear in that category. I'll show you an example. So if we take this one here that's not a ghost category and we click on the link, it will take us to the category page, and we can see here on the left we've got these list of other categories, and we can see here it says bestsellers in the particular category that we've chosen. However, if we go to a ghost category and click on it, we'll see something different. On the left hand side, you no longer have that list, and at the top here it just says bestsellers and doesn't say anything more about a particular category. This is what's called a browser node, and this isn't an actual category. So customers cannot find this particular list if they go to Amazon, or if they could, it would be very difficult. Now, the issue behind these ghost categories is that you will not know this exists from the choice you make on the category page. Let me show you. So if we go to this one here, books, cross hobbies and home, colouring books for grown-ups, go to KDP and choose those, cross hobbies and home, colouring books for grown-ups, and then we can choose humorous. Now we get a link here, and if we click on that link, it doesn't actually take us to a category page. It takes us again to a page called a browser node, where it contains just a lot of different types of category lists here: top rated, hot new releases, bestsellers. And this isn't specific to that particular category. It's like a general sort of page that Amazon I think has made up on the fly. So by going to KDP alone and choosing a particular category and clicking on the link, you cannot tell whether that particular category is a ghost category, because if you choose one of these ghost categories, as I said, you are wasting one of your choices because it doesn't actually exist. And currently, the only way I know of finding out about these ghost categories is using this Publisher Rocket tool. Now, with a ghost category, this is just another thing to be aware of, it will rank for the parent category. So you've got books, cross hobbies and home, colouring books for grown-ups. So that's a parent category. So it will list in that more general category. However, you'll find that parent category is also visible here in these other related categories. So again, you're in effect wasting one of your choices. Okay, now we come on to the second issue, and that is duplicate categories. And you'll find that a lot of these categories here are labelled as duplicate. And if we hover over one of these, we can click on View Duplicate Categories, and it will show us these two category choices here. And these are two choices you could be making in this list here. However, these two, what appear to be separate categories, both point to the same category page. So again, if you were to choose one of these and then choose the other related one, thinking they were two different categories, you're in effect choosing the same category. And so you would be wasting one of your categories. So the way you would use this is just have a look at what the duplicate categories are, just choose one of them and make sure you don't choose the other one. Now we come on to the third issue, and this is around Amazon being able to automatically put your books into additional categories, or it could automatically remove you from one of your categories if it thinks your book is not relevant to that particular category. And it does this from the keywords you choose. Now, this is not the keywords in the title or subtitle of your book, which are very important for ranking your book on Amazon, but it takes into account only those keywords in the 7 keyword boxes. And now Publisher Rocket has this useful tool here. For example, if we were to put our book here in this crafts, hobbies and home, colouring book for grown-ups, cities and architecture, and we wanted to make sure our book stayed in that particular category and Amazon didn't automatically remove it, then it's got this option here where we can see what keywords are associated with this particular category. And so the advice is to use a selection of these in your 7 keyword boxes and to use up 2 of those 7 keyword boxes with these individual keywords. Now, obviously in those 2 boxes, you're not going to be able to put in all of these, and so you would choose just a selection of these. So in effect, it would cement your book appearing in that particular category that you've chosen. Now, this brings up the idea of maybe if you were to choose your 3 categories and think to yourself, hang on, I would like my book to go in maybe a 4th category, or give my book a good chance of being in a 4th category. So you may pick one of these other categories that you haven't chosen, say for this one here, fantasy and science fiction, but you want to give your book a chance of appearing in that. You could always use those keywords related to that particular keyword again in 2 of those 7 keyword boxes, and then you would want to fill up the other keyword boxes with keywords related to your main search terms for which you want your book to be found on Amazon. So that may give your book a good chance of being put into a different category by Amazon automatically. So again, at the moment, Publisher Rocket is the only tool I know of that's showing these particular factors around categories, and this was an absolute revelation to me. I had no idea that this was actually an issue until I had a chat with Dave Chesson, who's the creator of this particular tool. Now, if you're a beginner, creating and publishing books on Amazon, this is probably not super important, because in the early stages you want to concentrate more on creating books and publishing books, and doing it error-free and maybe getting those early sales. However, if you are more at the intermediate to advanced level, i.e. you're now creating books, you're creating them error-free without any issues, and hopefully getting some sales, then this may be something you want to look at. Now, they do run a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you could give this tool a trial if you think it is important to you. And I will leave a link to it down below in the description. It is an affiliate link. I do receive a small commission from that link, which helps run this channel. Now, I've been using this software since 2013 myself, for not only publishing my low content, medium content books, but also written books that I created in 2013, 2014. And it's been a very, very valuable tool for me. And the beauty of this is it's also a one-off payment. It's not a subscription payment. So there we go. Some very useful and interesting information about categories selection. Now, if you are a beginner to this whole publishing business, or want some additional videos related to categories, then I've got my book tutorials playlist here. Thank you much for your time. It is very much appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, goodbye.